Amir Khan says he wants to put his recent personal troubles behind him and refocus on his boxing career and be involved in more big fights. He apparently posted on social media, I'm going to quote here from this article, on social media, Khan said, "Mid-August, I'm off to San Francisco to start my training, putting everything behind me and moving forward. Get back on top with big fights." The Sunday Mirror also reports him as saying, in the wake of the situation with his wife, reports Khan as saying, "I haven't slept all night. I don't know what to say. I'm gutted. I've not slept all night. I went to see some people at the marina and I've been up all night. I couldn't sleep. I need time to think. I just need to rest and speak to some people." So there you go. Khan says he's trying to regroup and focus on boxing. You know, sometimes in life, when all of us are going through trials and tribulations, personal problems, the best thing to do is take that energy, that frustration, and channel it into something. That's how you turn a negative into a positive. So this is exactly what I want to hear from Amir Khan. All that upset and all that anguish, channel that into your boxing. Channel that into your training. Because he's probably reached a point in his life where he's like, you know what? I've got nothing else to lose now. I've lost my family, or at least I've fallen out with them. I've lost my wife. I just have to completely dedicate myself to boxing now. It's the only thing I can do. Boxing is what got me here in the first place. This is how I got rich. This is how I got famous. This is what brought me success. So let me just refocus back on the boxing. Good to hear from Amir Khan. Who will Khan fight though? That's the thing. How much has he got left to give? He's been out the ring a long time. By the looks of things, he hasn't exactly been living the cleanest life. Although he doesn't look significantly overweight, I'll say that. It's interesting that Khan, when he's in the United States, lives in San Francisco because that's obviously the Bay Area where Virgil Hunter is based. So he'll be living in the very same area where his trainer is and whatnot, and he can dedicate himself completely. Who would he fight? I mean, he's lost his mandatory status with the WBC at welterweight. And the thing about Khan is that he's so vulnerable that you really don't know who he can fight. I mean, even if he came back for a tune-up, you feel like he'd be one punch away from disaster. Calamity Khan is the name that I've come up with him, because that's how Khan the name I've come up with for him. Sorry. Talk about calamity. I'm committing some calamities right here myself. But yeah, Calamity Khan is what I call him now. Because inside the ring and outside the ring, he's only ever 1 inch away from disaster, it seems like. So, given that fact, a lot of people, including myself maybe, are thinking, you know what? He needs to just fight Kell Brook. It's a risk worth taking at this point. If he loses, oh well, he made a hell of a lot of money from fighting Kell Brook. More money. He's not going to make any more money fighting anybody else than he will fighting Kell Brook right now. He needs to take that fight before it's dead. Yeah? Kell Brook will definitely come back, and he'll even fight at 147 for Amir Khan. Oh yeah, he will. He'll cancel all that moving up to 154. If he gets the Khan fight, he'll drop back down to 147 for that fight. It's a risk worth taking for Khan, because if he loses to Brook, oh well, made a shitload of money. He can retire or do whatever he wants to do. If he beats Brook, that springboards him back up into the upper echelons of the welterweight division. You know? So it's a worthwhile risk in my view. The worst that can happen is, okay, he loses, but he still ends up with an absolute shitload of money from it. And the way he's been living, and with probably a divorce coming up, potentially messy divorce, he's going to need all the money that he can get. Potentially. I know there was some stories of Khan getting a prenup before he got married, but then there was stories of him ripping the prenup up. Hopefully that was just for show. in front of his wife, and he didn't really rip up the official prenup, and he's got other copies of it. I'd hate to see him get taken to the cleaners. But, you know, the Kell Brook fight to me, as an outsider looking in, would make sense at this point. Hopefully that gets made. Both guys' careers seem to be on the rocks right now, but yet they're still relevant in the minds of the British public. If they leave it too much longer without fighting, they're both going to be irrelevant, and then the fight won't be worth any serious money. If they make the fight now, they're still both relevant enough. Even if they're relevant for the wrong reasons. Khan might be relevant because of his personal life, putting it all over social media. Brook might be relevant for the wrong reasons. You know, the way he quit against Errol Spence and also getting drunk and causing havoc on an EasyJet flight. Yeah, they might be relevant for the wrong reasons, but they're still currently relevant among the British public. So now's the time to make the fight. Now's the time to capitalize. Khan, what is he, only 30 years old? But he has had a hell of a tough career. He's been in a hell of a lot of tough fights. He's suffered devastating knockout losses. He needs to start thinking about his health now. He needs to start thinking about his finances long term and his health. And to me, that means securing the biggest possible money fights as soon as possible and having as few of them as possible. That's what I think. Because he's going to take punishment. If he's in big fights, he's going to take punishment. He's not getting out of the Kell Brook fight without taking a lot of punishment. Even if he wins it. He's not getting out of none of these fights against any of the top welterweights without taking a lot of punishment. These are tough guys. These are active guys. He's going to take a lot of punishment in sparring his body, not just in terms of taking punches, but putting his body through all the training. And he's been through God knows how many training camps before. He's had hand injuries and all kind of, different issues with his body. So, I get some people saying, Hatman, you're a bad mind. Hatman, you're hating on Khan, this, that, and the other. I've always said, and I always will say, I like Amir Khan. He has provided me with non-stop entertainment throughout his boxing career, in the ring and out of the ring. I don't hate him at all. I like Khan. Honest to God, I like him. I think he's good for boxing. And I hope he ends his career the right way. I would hate to see him just turn out to be cannon fodder for other fighters. It don't need to be that way because he's made so much money. He still has a name and he still has the potential to be at least in one very, very big money fight against Kell Brook. I'd like to see him capitalize on that and not make no mistakes. Taking the wrong fights for less money and losing or whatever. Getting beaten up. Anyway, those are my thoughts, people. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. And before I go, I have to remind you, don't forget to click the notification bell below this video if you haven't done so already. You only need to click it once. That notification bell. You don't need to click it if you've already clicked it before in a previous video. Yeah, click it once and then you'll receive notifications for all my future uploads. Make sure you do it, all right? It's happening, I'm out.